Hey guys, Jay here, and thank you for checking out this video. And this is my F1 fantasy team for the Miami Grand Prix. So here is my team. No changes from the Chinese Grand Prix. I have kept the same team, but I am playing my no negative chip. So I was torn between Leclerc and Sainz, and I also tried to bring in one of the Aston Martins, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, my main decision for this Grand Prix was, do I keep Leclerc or do I change to Sainz? So I had a look at the statistics, and we can see here that in terms of the total fantasy points scored, Leclerc is beating Sainz by 22 points. On average fantasy points, however, Sainz is just tipping Leclerc. But then we go to valuation changes. Leclerc's at the top, Sainz is in 5th. And if we go over here to value for money, Leclerc again is just tipping Sainz. It's very close between these two. I did go back and forth between the two of them, but I have decided to keep Leclerc for the Miami Grand Prix and go from there, but it is very close. I can see me maybe going back to Sainz at some point, but we'll see. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm right to stick with Leclerc, or do you think I should have gone for Sainz? Otherwise, I have decided to keep the two Haas drivers, and Haas and Tsunoda. I tried to take away some drivers, the Haas team, to see how I could change it. I tried to bring in Perez. I tried to bring in Aston Martin, tried to bring in Alonso, tried to bring in Stroll, but I just too short on the funds unless I take a big sort of point penalty. So I am sticking for Miami. I'm just hoping that K-Mag doesn't run into Tsunoda again like he did in China. Hulkenberg qualifying is mainly why I'm keeping him. He's done pretty okay for qualifying this year. And I'm a little worried about the RBs for Miami, if I'm honest. Don't know if they're going to do that well. But yeah, I'm going to keep faith with Tsunoda, keeping faith with the Haas's, and still keeping Ferrari and Haas. Obviously, we're keeping Max. I mean, why would you not keep Max? It's a sprint race as well, so he's going to score quite a lot of points, which I'll show you in a minute from my my results for China. But yeah, this one, it was mainly, do I keep Leclerc or do I change the Sainz? And I have decided to keep with Leclerc. So let's look at my results for China. So I got 265 points, which if you take away Japan, because I used my limitless card, that's actually my highest scoring round so far, but we did have a sprint race, obviously. Max, my turbo driver, top 116 points. Leclerc got 34. Hulk's got 4 points. K-Mag got 17. Tsunoda got -6 because he had that retirement because of K-Mag, unfortunately for me. Ferrari 74 points and Haas 26 points. So overall, not bad. Not bad. I'm not going to complain. Probably better than what I was expecting, if I'm honest. I did actually forget it was a sprint weekend, to be fair. But yeah, that obviously did play a big part in it. If I just show you Tsunoda quickly, -6 isn't actually too bad, given that you get -20 for the DNF. So, he got back a good 14 points for us. So yeah, that was my score for China. Apologies if I'm rushing this a little bit. I've been a bit under the weather over the weekend. I had to go to the hospital yesterday to get checked. I'm okay, but yeah, I'm a bit all over the place today. So anyway, let's look at the leagues. So if we go to the World Championship, I have gone down by about 10,000 places. But having said that, I am still in the top 50,000, so I'm happy with that. And a lot of players did play their limitless chip for the Chinese Grand Prix. so I can't complain too much really with that. And then if we go to the Papaya Stealth Open, and we've got some new players I think, but if I go to the Chinese Grand Prix here, this was the results for the Chinese Grand Prix. I came third. We do have another new player, so again I'll put the pin in the video and I'll share it in a sec as well. But we've got Verstappen is still at the top. Came top with 351, and then the raving racing official came in second, tipping me by like 21 points. I came third. But yeah, and here is the pin again. If you'd like to join, it's all for bragging rights, just a bit of fun. You're more than welcome to. So yeah. So other than that, the only thing I will say that I've noticed... Oh no, sorry, let's go to the statistics first of all. So statistics wise, fantasy points scored, Max is still at top. Like we said, Charles is in second, then we've got Perez in third, Sainz is in fourth, and Lando is in fifth. For the average fantasy points scored, again, Max is top, then we've got the two Ferraris, Sainz and Leclerc, then Perez, and Oliver Behrman is still in fifth. Valuation changes, something to keep an eye on. So Leclerc is still top, but then K-Meg is in second, and Lance Stroll, and I know he ran into the back of Ricciardo in China, and can be a liability, but same as K-Mag can be, to be fair. But Lance is third in the valuation changes. He is increasing. Perez in fourth, Sainz in fifth. Driver selection, Albon is still top at the time of this recording, with Max in second, Daniel Ricciardo's in third, Tsunoda's in fourth, Charles is in fifth. Valuation for money, we've got the two Ferraris, so definitely wants to keep your team if you can. Then obviously the Red Bulls, and then K-Mag is still in the top 5 for value for money. And overtakes, this is something I'm keeping my eye on quite closely. So K-Mag is still top of the overtakes, but then again Lance, this is what I was saying earlier, that I was trying to find a way to bring in by the Aston Martins or the Aston Martin team. Because again, even though Lance can be a liability, he is up there for overtakes, and he was last season as well. So he's not, don't count him out. Perez in third, Tsunoda is, I think, has climbed to third, and Hulks is in fifth. So again, the two Hasses are still in the top 5 for overtakes. Like I said in the Chinese Grand Prix fantasy team, the reason why I went with Haas for China was because of their overtakes and their, I believe it was their value for money. And then podiums, obviously Max is top with Perez second. They've got Ferraris starting to spread out a little bit. Top 10 finishes, DNFs still can take time to spread out. Fastest laps, 2 apiece now for Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, and Alonso's got 1. And then the driver of the day, and I'm a McLaren fan, so really happy for Lando Norris. Got driver of the day and second in the Grand Prix. I think Piastri came 8th. So as a McLaren fan, super happy for McLaren. But as an F1 fantasy player, I was kind of torn between McLaren and Ferrari, because obviously I want Ferrari to do well because they're in my team, but obviously I want McLaren to do well because they're my favourite team. So yeah, which made it kind of a bit interesting. It's kind of funny because I've started, when I was watching the Chinese Grand Prix, I was watching it as if I was playing my F1 manager game. I tend to keep an eye on the side panel, like the intervals, the lap times, tyre wear and all that. And I found myself doing that when I was watching the Grand Prix, and had to keep reminding myself, that I was watching the actual race and that it wasn't the game. So yeah. But anyway, that is my team. Talking of F1 Manager, next week I've got part 2 of my F1 Manager career with Aston Martin, aka Fernando. So that's Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. Just re-signed Fernando on a new contract because his contract was due to expire. But what I've also done, because I've watched part 1 back a few times, and it's, to say the least, very draggy, if I'm completely honest, and not very good layout wise. So I've changed the layout, and I've managed to cut the video in half. Just literally intro what's happened in the last few races and then straight into it, basically. So yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for that next week if that interests you, and I hope you enjoy it. It was the Monaco Grand Prix in Season 2, so 2024 Monaco Grand Prix. So with all that, guys, I think that's it for this video. I always say sorry it's short and sweet, and then it ends up being like 10 minutes long. But again, sorry it's short and sweet. And again, I'm a little under the weather, so not, apologies if my voice is a bit weird or whatever. And it's a bit rushed, but I wanted to get this done and scheduled for this week. Last but not least, just to let you know, if you've got Daniel Ricciardo in your fantasy team, he has been hit with a 3-place grid penalty for the Miami Grand Prix. Apparently, it was due to an overtake on Hulkenberg during a safety car. So let me just find the bit here. Where was it? So the driver of car 3, Ricciardo, admitted that he overtook car 27 Hulkenberg deliberately, but he explained that he felt that he could do so because car 27 had overtaken him under safety car before on lap 28. Read the panel's statement. We note that car 27 was permitted to overtake car 3 on lap 28 because of Article 55.8. There was no justifiable basis for car 3 to overtake car 27 while the race was under safety car conditions. We accordingly imposed a 10-second time penalty on car 3. So yeah, so 3-place grid penalty for Ricciardo at Miami. So just bear that in mind if you're gonna have him in your team. And that is it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I try and do a new video. I try and have a new video scheduled every week. Obviously, if there's a race coming up, we'll have an F1 fantasy team video. Otherwise, if I've already done that, then I'll have like an F1 fantasy themed sports gaming video. So mainly F1 manager, but I dabble a little bit in pro wrestling and football. But I'll do like a Formula 1 kind of theme to them if I can. It just keeps it interesting for me as well, so that I've got something, something else to do basically on this channel. So yeah, thank you very much, and I wish you good luck for the Miami Grand Prix, and I will then be back with, I believe, the Imola fantasy team. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who's in your team? How do you think your team's going to do? How does your team do in China? And remember, if you want to follow my team throughout this season, then please hit the like button and the subscribe button. Sorry, if you like the video, hit the like button. And if you want to follow my team throughout the season, then please hit the subscribe button to support the channel. I appreciate it very much. And yeah, most importantly, obviously have fun with it and enjoy the challenge. Thank you for watching.